Hey, what's going on, guys? We're just going to review some of these big wave spots that are on the surfline cam. What are we looking at here? This is blacks. There's been some huge sets coming in here. It's hard to tell because those waves are far away. I saw a couple dudes taking off. This is kind of northern San Diego. It's kind of a long walk to get down to. It breaks year round, but in the winter it'll catch these swells. So that's a pretty big spot. I don't see any guys out in this particular shot here. These cams will rotate. Those waves are pretty big. I'm trying to look. That must be a boat out there. That couldn't be a... Is it a jet ski? Yeah, maybe it's a jet ski. That guy's suicidal, man. He's going to get caught inside. It's hard to tell. Is that a jet ski? Oh, it's hard to tell. Now, this Teresa place, this is in Baja. I've never even heard of Teresa's, so I don't know what they're calling Teresa's. What, like K... Is this K38 maybe? K39? That's kind of like the way it breaks. That's what it looks like to me, but this is used to be a spot that you could camp out at just on the cliff. Federales would come by every now and then and hassle you. It was just sort of a free-for-all back in those days. But I got to look this up. I've never heard of this Teresa's place. I think this might be K38. Is there a dude out? I thought I saw a dude out. I surfed. If this is K38, I've surfed this place as a kid. I'm wondering, maybe this is Baja, what they call Baja Malibu. To me, this looks like K38 just maxed out. But I don't know, because normally it's hard to tell. Okay, so where are we at here? All right, this is our northernly most spot. This is up in Santa Barbara Harbor called Sandspit. You can check this out on YouTube. Maybe I'll put some links in. This Sandspit is awesome in, when it cranks. You can't really tell right now. The reflection's all jacked. But when it looks like it's getting a little windy. I can't even tell if there's anybody out. Looks like there's some people out, but this place gets some pretty cool tubes going. And I think that's our northerly most spot here, and we're gonna come down to C Street, or no, Mondos, I think will be the next spot. These are in Ventura County. Well, this is Santa Barbara County, but the next spot coming, yeah, there's some dudes out. It's hard to tell. Check that out on YouTube. When this place breaks, it's pretty cool. All right, here's Mondos. This is, just outside of Ventura, the downtown Ventura, maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 miles, maybe just up the coast on that coast road. This is a good beginner spot. You can get some really long rides here. I don't see anybody out. What you're not seeing is the current that much. If you go out here, that current's going to push you fast. I mean, you're going to be hundreds of yards down the coast to the south quickly. In some of these spots, it just comes in. It's like a river. This doesn't look too bad right now. As I'm looking, you could actually go out here and, if you stayed on the inside, you'd be just totally fine as just even a beginner. Okay, let's see. Where are we going next? I think Malibu? No, C Street. All right, so we're going Ventura Point, C Street. That's what I'm used to seeing it more lined up like that. Those are some big waves. That's not really surfable. I don't know if anybody's out. I have seen it on a day, probably like this, where it's so big that a dude was surfing on a wave. Literally, dolphins were diving over his head. The dolphins were surfing the wave, and he was on the wave, and he's surfing, and there's dolphins flying over his head. That's how big it was. The dolphins were body surfing it. I don't even know if he saw the dolphins. It must have freaked him out, because it was a pretty good sized wave, like maybe a 15-foot face, and then out of nowhere, this dolphin just flies right over his head. I had it actually on film, but my This is back in the day my battery ran out. But I was videotaping that. It's unfortunate because that would have been a cool shot for sure. All right, here's Malibu. Malibu, okay, the tide's still kind of high, but it's dropping. This is the spot to go to where it's just going to be completely under control. If the wind comes in right, you could get some really good waves here. I mean, like, man, I've surfed this place like no one out. This is like before anybody, you know, back in the day. You wouldn't even know until you arrived. There was no internet cams. And I've caught this like just perfect in the wintertime, you know, on a big winter swell. It's mostly a summer break, but when the swell's that big on the winter, it depends on the direction. It can hit like 4 to 6 foot and be almost perfect. Right there. This would be, you know, this is like a south swell, summer south swell type day right there. I mean, it's a winter swell, but I'm just as a comparison. Let's see. Internet's a little slow. This will stay surfable all day. You know, it won't get blown out. Maybe when this next storm coming in, I think it's got high winds. It might get blown out. You could still surf it though, the way it is there. But this will probably stay glassy all day. Come on, guys. Looks small. It's pretty small. A lot of guys out. Tide's still high. That just looks like a typical summer day right there. Well, you can tell that there's a little bit more action because the dudes are kind of scattered out. All right, here's Topanga. I think the biggest wave I ever surfed was at Topanga. This can be a little... This isn't that big today. I mean, there's sets coming in, but when it's big, it's hard. You gotta like wait for the sets before you can paddle out. If you try to paddle out right in the middle of the sets, there's no way. But that's any place really, except for Malibu. Malibu, you could paddle out. You know, first point, you could paddle out any day, anytime. You don't have to wait. Let's see here. Looking kind of small, really. It's not hitting Topanga full on. We used to have bonfires right there. Wow. It's crazy. A little crowded for how much surf's going on there. Probably Sunset's better than Topanga right now, the way the angle is. All right, wow, it's kind of died down. This is deceiving. Those waves are a lot bigger than they look, man. But when it's really big, you'll see it like breaking way out there, like trying to break, like the white water's forming way out there, and then it comes in. I saw this earlier. It was bigger, so I don't know if we're just missing the sets. But that's deceiving. These waves are massive. It'd be a tough paddle out. There's no one surfing here. It's out of control. But looks like it's getting a little windy. Looks like it's died down too. So we might just be in between sets. I was seeing much bigger sets. I think our next spot is going to be Haggerty's. And that's definitely, you got to wait for the sets. So let's see if we catch it with any sets. Yeah, that wave right there is massive. All right, here's Haggerty's. Okay, you can tell we're in between sets again. There's sort of an upper and lowers. Way up there, and that wave breaking way up there at the top that's called Exiles. These both kind of indicate what's coming at Haggerty's, but you can tell that where the dudes are stationed right now, that we're in between sets for sure. There's definitely surfing like upper hags up there. So there's sort of an upper and lower hags going right now. That doesn't always happen. It's usually just one spot. So it's kind of big when the packs are kind of broken up. And just below here, off screen, would be Rat Point. That'd actually be surfable right now. Or even this lower Hags. This is another easy paddle out place between this and Malibu. It's not like you get caught inside in this place. I mean, if you do, you're right by the rocks. Then we jump way, we go miles south. Seal Beach. I thought that was Newport coming up. All right, so this is Seal Beach. There's some dudes out, yeah. Looks like it. Off the jetty there. And some dudes out front. I have not surfed Seal Beach much at all. Used to get the flooding a lot. I don't know if they ever fixed that. Look, it's breaking over the breakwater, so you know, like, it's good size. You don't want to be standing on that breakwater fishing. That could be trouble. I think they closed. Did they? No, it looks like I think they closed the pier. Most of the piers are going to be kind of closed right now. Oh, down to the south, on the left-hand side of the picture, there's a whole little crew doing that beach break down there. Oh, here we go. We'll take off. Boogie board, body board, boogie man. Here we go on the right-hand side. Yeah, he got it, sort of. Another boogie man. All right. It's all good. Just getting out there today would be good. And I think our next spot's Newport Beach, lower jetties. It's coming in pretty good, pretty strong. Can't really see much, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the surf spots. I think this is going to jump all the way down to Baja from here. I might put some links in the video. And just like that, this video's over. And I'm out. If you guys need any rentals, paddleboards, surfboards, wetsuits, all that stuff, check out the website, MalibuLongboards.com. Or give Priscilla a text, 818-277-4652. Now, for real, just like that, the video's over.